Waiting for the break of day, searching for something to say, flashing lights against the sky, giving up, I close my eyes, sitting cross-legged on the floor.
What's up, Cyberspace Cadets? It's Thursday. You know what that means. It's time for Hot Takes with the Butter Baron. And in the studio with me tonight is the one and only Butter Baron himself, brother. Hey.
What up, brother?
Hey, brother. Arr, arr.
Arr, matey. We went from Hulk Hogan to pirates.
Shit, exactly. Brother.
Brother.
That's right. So how you been, man?
I've been doing pretty good. I'm still looking for a house. I haven't been making any videos lately, but work has been picking up, and I might be making a career change. Who knows?
Sweet. Well, that sounds fun, man. Exciting, you know.
Indeed.
Change is good. Change is difficult only if you fight it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my experience.
Change is only difficult if you don't adapt well. Adapting well
that's
is, you know.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
That's what I say. Yeah. And I'm sorry about last week, everybody. I had to call the show off because of stuff I got on my plate right now, and we're trying to arrange everything.
It wasn't me.
That's right. That's right. It was all me. And hopefully we'll have everything in place to where the streams won't be disturbed anymore. But it's going to be touch and go, dealing with some family stuff. So, and I got to be there for my fam, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it's totally way more important than being on the internet.
Absolutely. But then we got the fam here. You want to talk about? We're gathered today in this room to talk about
a civil union of sorts.
I'm not sure about the civility, man. But yeah, this is about. We're going to be talking about Netflix's original documentary series, The Family. And I'm using the term documentary in a very loose tongue, and I'll explain myself later. But I do want to talk about... Go ahead.
I just want to say I'm inclined to agree with that loose tone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the producer is a guy named Alex Gibney, and I remember when I was looking on his IMDb page, I recognized a couple of things he has produced, but he doesn't produce a lot of stuff. But what's interesting, is that the director is this guy here, a dude named Jesse Moss. Does he not look exactly like, I think he might be the son of James Cromwell?
I can't see him yet.
You will.
Yeah, we got that delay.
Yeah, the 20-second delay. It's officially 20 seconds now, people.
Perfect. Still not seeing him.
Yeah, he won't be up for a second because the first guy's got to pop up. Yeah, and that's Gibney.
Okay.
Where are the delay? And now you should be able to see Cromwell in 3, 2. Moss. His name's Jesse Moss.
Yeah, they kind of look the same. You're absolutely right.
And I was trying to find, and a lot of people have put that question into the search engines, where they're asking if they're related or not. So obviously there's maybe a connection there, because the only star in the dramatized parts of this limited series is James Cromwell. He's the and I wondered, how could they get a guy with that kind of clout? And and he's a very politically active actor. As a matter of fact, we'll just go ahead and show him now.
Aren't they all though?
Pretty much, whatever. It's this dude right here, the guy that played the inventor of warp speed in that Star Trek movie, with the Borg Queen and shit. Remember that one? First Contact?
No, I don't know anything Star Trek. I should basically, I never was into that really terrible show.
Well, you know, Trekkies and Trekkers and all that shit. You know, this he plays Zephyr Cochrane, the guy who invents warp speed, right? And,
Yeah.
and so it's an important character, and he did a really good job playing that iconic character, I thought. All right, so this show is primarily based on books and written and narrated by this guy right here, this dude named Jeff Charlotte, Sharlet. And I've got a couple of pictures of him. Because when I started getting into this, I started thinking, I wanted to know more about this guy, to be honest with you. Because he was doing a lot of the narration, and it's based on 2 books that he had written. And they waited until one of the main people that they talk about died before they did this thing. Which is convenient too.
That is odd.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Joe Crowley?
No, oh shit, what is that guy's name? Coe died in 2017.
Yeah, Coe. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Doug Coe.
Not Joe Crowley. Yeah,
That
Doug
dude,
Coe.
that dude, yeah. All right, and this is another picture of Jeff Charlotte, the way he really looks now and the way he looks in the video when he's talking. And then another
Kind of
person.
looks like Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, but in the movie he's like thinner and has a beard, and so.
Huh.
And when I looked him up, I just want to get this out of the way because it's just I found it to be fascinating. He is an American journalist, author, contributing to Harper's Virginia Quarterly Review, Rolling Stone. His work has appeared in New York Times Magazine, GQ, Esquire, Lampum's Quarterly, Oxford American, Book Forum, the Washington Post, Mother Jones, New York Advocate, Guernica, the Chronicle of Higher Education, Guernica, which refers to a town in Spain that was dive-bombed by Stukas during the Spanish Civil War. So that's kind of a socialist kind of icon. That's that town. People may not know that. Columbia Journalism Review, New Statements. This dude is written for a lot of shit. And then I start reading. He's the creator of 2 online journals. One's called Killing the Buddha, which is a literary magazine that looks at religions, which is, it seems pretty cool to me. And then The Revealer, a review of religion and media, published by New York University Center for Religion and Media, and is a former editor-in-chief of Pakenträger, a journal published by the National Yiddish Book Center. Charlotte's interest in religion developed during his childhood. Charlotte's mother was from a Pentecostal Christian background, and his father's a secular Jewish background. And he was raised in an eclectic religious environment, attending various people's churches, temples, and he said that he gravitates to stories about people's beliefs as the most natural way to engage with the world. Which makes a lot of sense. And to make
he's
a
not
long,
really wrong there.
I mean, to make a long story short, his mom died of cancer when he was 16. Which I find fascinating to see. But yeah, the dude is definitely been published quite a bit, and the books that he wrote what the family is based on were written and published in the early 2000s. So it'd be during the, during part of the Bush administration, I guess, during that time.
Yeah, I mean that when you're watching the documentary, you get the feeling that they're talking about, for instance, Donald Trump, but really, if you know about the books, he's really talking about George W. Bush most of the time.
Right. And that was what the book, and that's kind of like and I don't know if you call it this, and I'm anxious to hear your perception of it, but it seemed like there was some kind of bait and switch shit going on with the narrative, right?
Yeah.
You know, it was like, okay, we're leading here. Everything leads somewhere, but it gets nowhere.
Well,
You know,
I noticed that right in the beginning, when they're talking about C Street, right? And he's talking about how he first met up with them and the fact that he was Jewish and they're Christian, and I'm looking through this all, and I'm like, okay, well then they're clearly not that Christian if they're allowing you as a Jewish person to join their organization. You know what I mean?
yeah, they're not exclusively Christian, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's more of a club that calls themselves Christian than a Christian club.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And then now we're in the room with the slideshow behind us. So we'll be having various pictures of presidents, and all this centers around this the prayer breakfast, the national prayer breakfast that every president has had since 1953. Every year they have it, and the way that it's painted in the series is that it's there for nefarious purposes only. Right?
Well, yeah. They're in the series. They talk about the fact that if you were a Russian operative, you could go there and meet some very powerful people.
They're talking about Russia?
Yeah, they did. They were
I
talking
know.
about Russian
I'm kidding,
operatives. Yeah, I was like,
My
this
Russia.
is ridiculous. At this point, I'm like, fuck you guys. You fucking, look.
Dude, I'm so glad we're on the same page, because I was like, first of all, like I load this up and it's like, holy shit, this is 5 episodes. All right. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'm willing to give 4.5 hours of my life. All right. And I put it on and it just kept going. Right. And it's like, okay.
But it doesn't get anywhere.
Right.
So like I said, in the beginning of the series, they talk about the fact that it's a Christian organization, and they give this like, what are you gonna find behind the scenes type of thing. And it turns out behind the scenes, all there is most of the people there follow the Bible. There's no like drugs, rock and roll, and sex like you would think in most documentaries, where they're like, behind the scenes, look at this. No, that's not it. There's not. They quote Bible verses at each other.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me? They're like, oh, you're getting behind your study on the Bible, or you're getting behind your work. It's really, this whole group is really just.
Can I give you like a unique perspective? All right, because I was alive when Reagan got elected. All right, the Carter administration was the administration that basically got Reagan elected. It was because of all this. We had hostages in Lebanon. We had the fuel crisis. Standing in lines to get gas. Carter, whatever, right? He did get Egypt and Israel to shake hands and come up with a treaty, which was a good thing. Okay.
Yeah.
But okay, so and at this point in time, religious people like Jim Baker and Pat Robertson, literally there was like all these like super preachers like just popping up on TV, and they would have these these 5-hour long shows and shit, and people, I mean, this is when we were in a recession, dude, right? And people are just throwing these guys money. So there's a landslide victory for Reagan. Right, it's like all these former blue states in the South went red, and it was a lot of their politicians flipped and left the Democrat Party and became Republicans. Right, Senator, the one from Alabama is named Shelby, and I wouldn't trust that dude with my sister. I'll put it that way. Let's see. So
I mean, they're politicians. Nobody should really trust them.
Well, yeah, exactly. But so all right, so and that's where the big swell of the Christian right came in during the Reagan administration.
Satanic panic.
And that happened at towards the end, right? And during HW's term, single term, and HW is what got Clinton elected. Because 1,000 points of light. Will not be prudent. Wouldn't be prudent. No. Anyway, So,
Yeah.
I'll shut up for a minute and let you enlighten us. What did you pick up on, dude?
Well, so what I was picking up on was that really this was a training group for what would be the religious right wing of politicians, you know?
Yeah.
Which is not unheard of. Every group has these. Did you think that AOC was just some girl they picked up off the street? No. She was part of the Democratic Socialists before she was she was an activist. That's how this works. You start out going to these like meetings of political groups, you become well known, and then you get put forth as a candidate. And you get primaried, and if you're for a bigger party, or you just get picked because of your, you fit the what is it called, the stereotype that they need.
Right.
So like for instance, in the era of Ronald Reagan, right? He looked the part. That's ideal.
Absolutely. Yeah, the 3-piece suit, the proper tie, the whole 9 yards, right? Whereas when Clinton got elected, that the image became younger and it became like loose tie, rolled up sleeves, that kind of thing. I see what you're saying. Yeah, right. You're preparing a product for the people to consume or to vote for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get that. And and it's interesting because I really think that this guy's got a hard-on for religion, because I think it may have something to do with LGBTQ shit. I'm not sure about that, but he's been given a bunch of awards.
You have to
based
say
on
the
his
alphabet
work.
people.
Yeah. Well, I think next week we should do that. And I'll be honest with you, man. I'm thinking about canceling Netflix after this. I don't know, man.
Okay, I would agree with that, except for one thing: Mindhunters.
Oh no shit, man.
We should talk about that someday, because that I watched the whole thing already.
See, I read like all 3 of his books, man. John Douglas, the guy who the young dudes patterned after.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll definitely do that. All right, so you want to do Chappelle next week and then wrap it up with that? Wrap up the.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we should, and we can do season 1 and season 2 as 2 separate weeks.
Oh, that'd be great, man. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially the guy that played Ed Kemper, dude. Was he not fucking outstanding?
Dude, that was amazing.
Yes.
But we should stay on
Yeah,
top.
I know. It's like, you can tell that neither one of us really like this fucking serious docu shit.
It's an eye-opening documentary, but it's clearly biased. And the thing is,
no, it teases you, in the ad that it's going to trace down the tentacles of evil Christianity around the world, and it's like, and there's no tentacles, dude. During the '80s, I had a friend, a friend of, it was the son of one of my professors, was going to Russia, sneaking Bibles into Russia. So, and these were active Christian people that were doing it. I went to a Christian college, to a Methodist colleges, right? So this, that's the most liberal of all Christian religions, I believe. But yeah, it was a great experience. But what I'm saying is I knew him, and there was no secret bullshit. It was just they were wanting to get these people into Jesus. I mean, think about how much Christianity has affected humanity for 2,000 years, right?
well, yeah, it's beneficial.
Right. But the Soviet Union didn't even last 100. So there's right. You're exactly right. There's something to it.
No, it's beneficial. Look, you don't have society is not made up of only leaders. So you have a lot of people who are followers, and guess what? They need structure. That's how it works.
Yeah.
It works the same way with dogs and monkeys and everything else that has a pack mentality. That's an extremely social creature.
Right. And basically, what church has become, I think, now is just a public expression of spirituality.
Exactly.
you know.
I mean, it's literally, they don't even follow half of what is preached in the Bible. They completely and utterly get rid of the Old Testament, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, see, there's a verse in there that a lot of people think means that, right? That Jesus says,
Yeah.
I'm the new covenant. All that before me is now, gone. I'm sure I fucked that up. So if you got the right Bible verse, you can throw it at me. I'm cool with that. I understand it, and I understand the whole desire and need for an afterlife, right? That promise of reward. So it makes sense to me. And if you boil down, if you want to be really liberal, spiritually, with the message that Jesus brought, all he said was just love each other and treat each other like you love each other. If you don't.
Yeah, well, sort of.
Kind of a hippie thing, That's what I was
say
got
that,
out of it.
except for if you're not part of his tribe.
Not really, man. He didn't. He was an active Jew, man. He the Last Supper is Passover. He was an observant, devout Jew.
He did say that the Jews are the chosen ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
I'm not talking about that.
Every time people call him the Son of God, he says, "You said that. I never said that." Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of what happened after Jesus died, like the 300 years after his death, is very important to what religion looks like now, right?
Yes.
Because Constantine plus Peter and Paul. There was, and then after the Catholic Church was formed, there was a great schism. So, and then
Lutherans.
Exactly, and then the Huguenots and Lutherans and Henry VIII, wanted to get divorced, and it's like, I'm making my own religion. Fuck you.
Look, he couldn't kill all that many wives.
Hey, Maura, memes. What's up, guys? We are talking about the family.
The family.
The family.
But
not the Manson family.
Back to our main point here of this is training for religious right people to become politicians, and yes, they do have a good amount of power, though. They're able to, let's say, you're not in their good graces anymore, and you're not working with the group as well as you need to be. You're ousted. You are pariah, and because they have so many connections, by just merely cutting you off, you lose everything you've had. You can't. The people that are in it won't talk to you. They won't help you. And there's a lot of people in the government that are in it. Now, that's true of any group, though. Like, there are multiple groups that are like this. For instance, I'm gonna say, if you go to the Democrats and say that you're a Republican, that whole group will 100% cut you off. Just like, if you're a progressive and you go to the Republicans, they will cut you off.
Right. Well, and it's like, and if you're not marching, they'll give you an opportunity to get in line, and if you don't, then you're out. Because they do have something they have to maintain. I'm trying to find that guy's name, man. Because I think one of the dudes that we were looking at was the guy that was trying to fuck a dude in the airport bathroom.
I don't remember this.
Yeah. No, it was because I saw him, right, on the thing. And I don't know if that was him or not. Crap. Yeah. So, if anybody can come up with that guy's name, because it's like I've been totally waterheaded. Not for good reasons either.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't remember that guy's name at all.
Anyway, so there's a hypocritical aspect to it, but you're absolutely right. Though it's just like the Young Turks and casting AOC and those other insurgent candidates. This past midterm. So, yeah, yeah.
But it's not like I don't even see like the way that this documentary portrayed it was this thing is evil, right? But everyone else is doing it. They just didn't bother to point out that fact. They didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that things like
the big
AJ
evil
Plus,
was Russia.
yes,
I mean,
yeah. And
keep going.
how can you say that when there's so many other people that are more influential?
Like rich,
Like
rich
AJ
motherfuckers.
Plus. AJ Plus is literally Al Jazeera America.
Yeah.
Like, come the fuck on. You can't. I don't know. It seems to me to be super hypocritical. In such a way. Look, I get that both of these things are bad, and in a perfect world, you wouldn't have either.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have a totally secular government that would have nothing to do with religion because there's so many religions in this country, and you would have a lot of laws that made more sense. But guess what? We don't live in a perfect world.
Hey, go, man. We've been blessed. So, and you'll hear that in 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I mean, what else can be said on this thing, man? I mean, it's just, it comes across, and this, I'm seeing a pattern with the documentary making, with the exception of Cocaine Island.
Yeah.
And maybe the Fire Festival thing, even that had kind of a weird slant to it, right?
Yeah. I mean, remember that documentary a long time ago, the food one we did?
Mm-hmm. That
one did not have nearly the slant that these ones do.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. And you kind of knew where they were going with it, but they kind of let you make up your own mind.
Exactly. They would give you both sides of a story.
Right. And this is just like they're giving you like pieces of it. And when they're and they totally ignore black churches. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but they totally
did.
Yeah. Which have been like hardcore Democrat voting, almost a monolith, if you want to, call it that, for years. And I thought, man, what the fuck? And they do have this little group in the last episode of these, led by a black dude. But it sounds more like a union meeting, right?
Kind of.
It was weird. I think it was one of those things they call it iron on iron. It says somewhere in the Bible, in the Acts, after the part of the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, there's like a group of books that take place after the death of Jesus, written by primarily Paul and Peter and John of Patmos, right? Yeah. I know this shit because I had to learn it. I went to Catholic school for a while, but so I guess what I was trying to say is that I don't know. There's a lot to not get or get. Go ahead.
So I mean, there is something that they didn't bother to connect that would have been great if a documentarian had taken a look at this and said, hey, there's these two things that are very well connected, and that's the family and the Mercer Group. Remember the Great Hack?
Yes.
The Mercer Group is part of the family.
Yeah. And that was a connection there.
Yeah, but they didn't say that.
I know.
Now that could have been something that interesting documentary. That's weird that a Christian group also has a massive fucking lobby that also was able to pull data on people.
Well, and that's and I think I think the writer is blinded by his own bullshit.
That's true, and I'm inclined to agree with that. And I'm like, what the fuck? You didn't say anything about this. This is it's a really big deal.
That's
and
the
you
that's
didn't
the smoking
bother to
gun.
mention it.
The Russia thing has been proven to be bullshit. 2 years of bullshit. And I mean, you know, mass media is just like spewing it out every day. Russia, Russia, Russia. And of course, this backs all that shit up with nothing.
Yeah, with nothing.
It's a wisp. It's a moderately attractive redhead with a gun. You know? There's this Russian chick that they refer to, and I'm like, well, okay, what did she do? They couldn't say nothing. They didn't say what she did. She really wasn't a spy.
Wasn't that the one that was operating illegally by accident, where she
Yes.
didn't know she needed a license?
Yes. Or a visa or something like that.
No. She had a visa.
Okay.
That's why she's not in jail, because she was like, hey, so I didn't know about this special license you need to get. I thought declaring my intent was enough. Because she had already declared that.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, it's like, okay, so I just didn't see the big problem with them trying to like take Christianity. I mean, this is what they do, man. They're called missionaries. You know,
Yeah.
they proselytize.
I mean,
that's part of their religion, man.
Pretty much every religion except really the Jewish religion has that. I mean, anyone ever been knocked on the door by a Mormon? Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Technically they're Christian, but they also believe that Jesus appeared to the Native Americans after he left the Middle East and came to the New World. And
Yeah, they're Christian plus the Bible expansion pack.
yeah, and exactly.
What? It's true.
That's excellent, man.
I mean, look,
I love that shit.
playing Christianity classic over here by being Jewish. You guys have all the updates, and then they've got the expansion pack, and then there's plenty of other expansion packs. Some of them are not on market.
You got your bitter herbs and your fucking fruit, man. Or, your
you get
unleavened
seer
bread.
stones in the Mormon one.
That's great. That's awesome.
It's just the truth, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not trying to hate on religion here, because look, we really don't know what happens when you die.
A
Nobody knows where you
shitload
go.
of people have been murdered in the name of religion. I mean, we just got,
Exactly.
you know, and just like communism. See?
Yeah, just like communism. I mean, to be fair, capitalism has murdered plenty of people too.
Well,
like,
fanatical mindsets, right? You know, taking doctrine and hurting people with it.
well, okay, fanatical mindset. You want to make a profit no matter what.
That's pretty fucking fanatical, you know?
Yeah, that's fanatical.
What would you call that?
I would call that probably a radical capitalist. Is what you would call that. It sounds ridiculous to say, but there are people like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are more people that want it like that. It's like ANCAPs, anarcho-capitalists.
No, think like heads of GE and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
hey, we're gonna
like,
make
I
this
don't
product.
have enough money, man. I make $1 billion a year, and I don't have enough fucking money. Give me, oy vey,
I
Brian
guess
is a
Goatman-
Jew. Goatman figured it out.
Goatman didn't know I was Jewish. Whoops. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, man. Oh, man. I listened
yeah.
to Fiddler on the Roof a couple of times. Do I qualify for anything? Can I wear the hat?
I mean, whatever you want, man. I'm not a practicing Jew. I'm what's it called? Racial.
You're a secular Jew.
Not even secular. I don't practice at all.
Right.
I'm genetically Jewish.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
culturally, yeah. But not culturally.
not even really culturally.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't practice.
No.
Look, I'm just good at adding, adding together numbers and doing taxes. It's just I'm good at it, man.
Money just like I'm not even
It
gonna
just
say-
appears. It's like I looked under the bed, bam, $1,000.
That's funny, man. Oh shit. Oh, Kumara.
But yeah. So, like I said, back to our point here is that a fanatic in anything is bad, especially when they have power. But it seems as though almost all of the government is just full of fanatics, no matter where you go. Because that seems to be how you get to that point of being electable, is that you have a group that you're really a fanatic for.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. I want to put the Discord link in the chat, and if you want to pop in and comment on this, feel free to. Yeah, Brian and I pretty much knocked this one out. We got 20 minutes to goof around.
Well, I mean, we don't have to go the full 20 minutes if we don't have anything left, because there's not a lot to say about this. It's not okay. Another thing that I thought was sort of hypocritical about the whole thing was that they talk about how it's this Christian organization, they're pushing their religion, and then they talk about how they go to other places to make peace with people, right? And try and help different groups connect. Like they went to Botswana or something.
Yeah, they went to Africa with nefarious
and-
means, right?
Well, and here's the thing, is the guy that talks about it is like, well, they went there and they didn't say, can you stop killing people? They said, God still loves you. And I'm like, yeah, they're not going to go there.
That's a very
and tell
liberal
him-
Christian, man. To be honest, that's a very liberal
Yeah.
Christian approach.
that, you
Now,
know,
a Baptist
and-
from where I'm at, a Baptist preacher would tell them they're all going to burn in hell, right?
Well, yeah, but think about this, right? You can't persuade anyone if they're not on your side, right? So in reality, what they're doing is they're saying, God still loves you. This is the teaching of God. Please follow the teaching of God, which is a subtle way of saying, hey, stop fucking killing people.
Well, can I
Like,
ask you a
that's-
question? If there's a God of infinite love and wisdom, how could he even conceive of something like hell? Infinite love. Infinite
Well,
wisdom.
that's not such a thing. There's no such thing.
But you know what I'm saying? No, this is a rhetorical question, right? It's, infinite love and wisdom. Why need hell, or even purgatory? I think they got rid of limbo. The Catholic Church got rid of limbo because it was
pretty
just too
sure-
full with abortions. So
Yeah, too full of abortions.
yeah, that's where non-baptized babies go when they die. They went to a place called limbo, but now they're too full. So.
What, did the Pope pardon a bunch of them, or?
No, they literally declared it bullshit in so many words. That was during the guy Ratzinger, whatever I can't remember his name, Benedict maybe. They all run together. The important one to me is John Paul, because he helped bring down communism, which was an important thing, man. The Soviet Union. So
yeah, that's. I mean, what would you give this out of a 10? Really,
dude. You would think after fucking 5 hours of this shit, you would take away maybe 30 minutes of awesomeness, right? There's got to be,
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough threads here. We can make a rope out of it. But no,
no, not at all.
can't happen. So yeah, out of 10, I'm giving it a less, maybe a 2.8. I'm going to go to Rotten Tomatoes and see what they said. Right?
Oh no!
While you're
don't
giving
do
your
that.
yeah.
Don't do that. Everyone knows. Everyone knows Rotten Tomatoes is garbage.
I still want to know,
After the
man.
Dave Chappelle thing, everyone knows.
I'm just rubbing it in, dude.
Dude, I can't. We should totally do the Dave Chappelle thing next week. 'Cause
Okay,
that
let's
thing-
do Dave Chappelle next week for sure.
Let's do Dave Chappelle next week, man.
All right, and then we'll do
'Cause-
season 1 of Mindhunter, and then season 2 of Mindhunter, and that's the whole month right there, dude.
Yep,
That's
there we go.
That's a good idea. I like that idea.
We can put out put out a calendar for people.
Where's the family? Where's the
The
family?
family.
There's so much shit called the family. I mean, okay, here we go.
Well, also, by the way,
Oh.
didn't you? There's a part where they talk about being bipartisan and having like the Clintons over and everything to the family house.
Yeah,
So,
and Obama,
you know-
man, was part of that.
Yeah.
They did the prayer breakfast with his preacher dude. And remember when Ben Carson spoke at one of them, man? He made this big declaration, and that got him in the race for president. You know, the next, you know, that election, this past election. You remember that? Maybe not.
Well, yeah, I do.
Okay.
I mean, it just
Yeah.
like I don't understand why they tried to frame it in such a way because then they contradicted themselves every 3 seconds.
Well, and that's the tribalism bullshit that we as a country are embracing right now. You know, it's like the other people bad, what they believe is bad, instead of like, you know what, we can disagree on shit. You know, let's get shit done, because that
Tribalism,
used to
not even
happen.
once, fam.
Dude, during Reagan and Clinton's administrations, both sides worked across the aisle together and got legislation passed on a regular basis. There was no
you
grid
know what?
fucking lock.
We had a great economic prosperity during Clinton and Reagan.
And
so
Reagan.
go figure.
Yeah, exactly. When the government's doing its thing, man, people are happy. They want to, you know, it makes the country stronger.
Weird.
You know, somebody
Weird
wants all the
that
marbles. They both sides want all the marbles, and they can't have them. So, all right, so the audience score out of 148 user ratings, it's got an 85%.
Oof.
And the Tatometer, the critic ratings, 8 critics, 88%.
Okay, they knew their demographic. They knew that it was going to be smug fart huffers.
It's got to be, man. IndieWire, yeah. Okay, here's the audience. I wonder if some of these people on the YouTubes, you know, want that access and shit. Access Hollywood.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, people, if you want to, please subscribe. I keep losing subs and shit. I looked at my thing the other day, and I've literally had over 1,200 people subscribe to my account, but 300 have dropped off magically.
I know the feeling.
It just you know, it just infuriates one at sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to have fun.
Right. I just want to be able to have like live streams on my phone again, so I can cook again. I don't know why they made these limits, but these limits are just killing me on my channel. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't be monetized, so I can't get circulated. I can't live stream from my phone, so I can't do like barbecue streams or anything. Fucked over my whole summer plan.
It's like getting cornholed by an electric drill. You know?
Exactly. This is some fucking bullshit.
It is. It's a drag, man. It is a drag. Well, people, do you have any questions about the show? About the?
You never gave it your 1 out of 10.
I give it 2.8.
2.8. You know what? Because you know, if you are of a certain bent, I'd give this a solid 4 out of 10. Because if you have a certain bent to your ideology, then it'll appeal to you, and it's something that you'll watch.
Yeah, exactly. You'll hear what you want to hear. So
exactly.
And that's, you know, and you know what, man, I don't do this to the religious people. So, you know, political ideologues, man, whatever you believe is, you know, I'm cool with that, man. We can coexist, people.
Yeah, not just that, but I think that religious people, if they watch this, they'd be like, that's not really Christianity.
No, it isn't.
You know what I mean? Because it's not.
It's kind of
it's
insulting
not really.
in a way.
Yeah.
You know, especially to somebody that, you know, it's like I'm in a similar situation to the guy that wrote the book. You know, it's like I've got somebody that I love that grew up very strong in their faith, very, very, very pious person, and they're dying in a very painful, horrible way. You know, and I can understand how that kind of pain at the age of 16 would turn somebody against a belief like, you know, a concept of a God. You know, and you know, it may even create a zealot in the other direction.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that kind of pain, you know. So, you know, watching somebody you love hurts, and if you can attribute that, if you can vent, you know, your own pain and culpability, or whatever you want to call it, you know, to something like that, then you're going to, right? Because of the cognitive dissonance that, you know, would build it if you didn't. So I totally understand it. But you know, it's like spiritually, I would say I'm a very eclectic spiritual person. I don't rule anything out, but I'm technically agnostic because I don't have any proof either way. But if somebody says they're going to pray for me, I'm not going to tell them to go fuck themselves, right?
Yeah, I memean, I might tell them to stop just because, statistically speaking, they might actually hurt my chances of getting better.
Well, I don't know. I just if people have faith, I admire that.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what I'm saying? I respect it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and it is what it is.
Exactly.
And I don't think we can say much more. What are you going to do this weekend, man? Got anything planned?
This weekend? Yeah, nothing. Nothing is planned. I think, I don't know, man. I'm doing a lot of work lately, so.
Oh, yeah? The normal work
Yeah.
that you do?
The work that I do.
Not the sweat equity kind of housework stuff?
Normal work, yeah. Yeah.
Got you. Both can be
So,
something intense. You know?
both are super, super busy.
Absolutely. Well, Friday, tomorrow night, we're another Cream stream. Putting together some mega cringe for everybody to enjoy. Yeah, it's turned into a fun clip show, man, and I'm finding all kinds of crazy shit. The thought
That's
block.
pretty good.
The thought block is not. I do rate it for adults, okay, people, because I blur out nipples and shit, but pretty much showing everything.
Hey, so have you guys gone over Mediaversity?
No.
Look up Mediaversity. It's something that's done by Rotten Tomatoes. It is where they rate videos or movies based off how diverse they are. I kid you fucking not.
Well, you know, and the guy goes, you know, when I go to these meetings, that's what I see is a bunch of old white men because that's what I expect to see. And I'm like, no shit. They're politicians and they're, you know, and they're traditional Republicans. You know, there's not a lot of color or you know, gender differences. You know, they're starting to emerge, right? You know, you've got your anomalies here and there, but you know, it looks different. I would say conservatism looks more different now than it did compared to what he's like drawing from on this.
Okay, but you have this idea, right, that somebody has to be an established person to be a politician. They have to have a record of some sort, right?
Right.
So you end up having somebody that is above 40 normally being in the government. So that means they're one generation behind what is currently popular.
Right.
Right?
Well, am I going to get elected, Brian, by a bunch of Christians if I say I like to eat ass?
No.
You know, you know what I'm saying?
Well, but hold on. Let me finish my point, though.
I'm sorry.
My point is that you have these people that are one generation older, right? Mm-hmm. Where the major demographic of people in America at the time was like 80% white, right?
Right.
So no shit, they're all white, and of course they're all men, because guess what? That was the fucking 80s. Guess who went into politics in the fucking 80s?
Right.
Like, you're... The thing is that your demographic changes based off who is actually voting. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to force these things. These things naturally change.
Yeah, as generations, give and receive the baton. It's the face of politics, and politicians will change.
Well, you wanna know how I know this as a natural study and is to be true? The majority of people in California are actually Latino.
Right.
It's not white people. And guess what? Most of the politicians in most regions are Latino.
That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird. So...
It's almost like you're saying majority rule.
It's super weird, right?
Oh, dude, you've blown my mind. What am I going to do?
I don't know, man.
That's great, though.
And look, there's nothing wrong with that. There's, it's... You don't force these people out because of their race or their sex. That's wrong. That's actually racist and sexist, like the definition.
Yeah. See, and that kind of bullshit doesn't make much sense right now, does it?
No.
No. You would think they would want to work together. That the people would reward that by, voting them in again.
Well, they can't. They can't reward that because that's not everything they're shown. Like, look, my parents are boomers, right?
Right.
I know that my mom's going to say this thing because she watches CNN.
Correct.
Like, I know what she's going to say. I know
Right.
what she thinks about it because it's what she's been told.
Yeah. Don Lemon's awesome.
Ugh. To be fair, I also hate Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's garbage.
He can make some salient points occasionally, I would think.
He picks the lowest hanging possible fruit.
Yeah, but he's a pundit. He's not a fucking newsman. Whereas Lemon is a newsman, and he still talks opinion. Right? At least Carlson is open that his show is opinion. It's not news. They're not presenting it as news.
Yeah,
that is
right.
a difference.
He talks about political policy, right?
He's a wonk.
And he also is on a channel called Fox News. And it's definitely opinion. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely.
Like you've wrapped it all up in news, but it's opinion. So it's okay. You can say whatever you want.
Right. Well, it's a news channel with opinion. Shows it in the evening, right? With the with Hannity, and I don't know who else, man. Martha McCallum, I think. I don't know.
Look,
is she still there?
Most people get their news from things like that. They don't get it from the actual sources. For instance, the sources don't get it from the sources. So
not anymore. And they're actually used to. There was possibly the beginning of like actual journalism on this here platform, and that has been crushed.
Oh yeah,
by the legacy media. Well, shit, bud. What do you think? We're near the top of the hour.
I think Thug Life fam.
You ready?
Absolutely.
We don't have anything more to say about this, y'all. Check it out if you think you'll like it, based on what Brian and I were saying. We weren't too keen on it, but that doesn't mean it sucks, right? Because everybody's different and everybody's experience is subjective.
That's true.
So, in your subjective reality, you might want to spend 5 hours and watch this, and you might come to the same conclusion and say, "Why did I fucking watch that?" So, I don't know.
Yeah. If you're a critical thinker, I would definitely not watch it.
No shit.
If you breathe through your mouth,
Shit.
No, I'm not going to go that far. It's just a joke.
All right, so you have nothing to shell out with.
Nothing. I don't have anything coming out because
sucks.
Well, look, I'm not going to post things on a platform that doesn't,
No, it doesn't push you. No, dude.
they don't help. They don't help me. They don't even send it to my subscribers. Why would I bother to post anything?
That sucks.
Yeah.
Because your shit's great. This dude is talented. He's funny, and he is a killer cook. He's a chef, a true chef. Okay, and I'm not bullshitting. He's not because I call him a friend, man. It's genuine respect I give to this man.
Well, thank you.
You're awesome, and I'm grateful that you do this thing with me every week because, sometimes I just got to get out of my head, man, and this is a great way to do it. All right, so tomorrow night I said Cream Stream. Sunday I'm going to be interviewing Blossom. That's right.
Blossom's cool as shit.
Yeah. So we're gonna have some fun. I didn't want to, bury the lead because there's all this mysteriousness going on with that shit. But I'm having a ball.
What shit?
Playing with it.
Tell
No,
me
drama and shit, whatever.
Oh, the gay drama shit.
Yeah, I'm not part of that. I'm
a big
actively
old group of those people
uninvolved with that shit.
Yeah.
So
it's just like intentionally trying to draw drama, and it's really sad.
Dude.
It's super sad.
Indeed. Well, it's all right. Let's say bye, man.
Yeah.
Ready?
Thug Life fam.
That's right. This is Irate saying I'm OUT. See y'all next time.